Thrive Talk. Real candid conversations about what it takes to live, work, and play on your own Thrive Talk. I literally jump for joy to both inspire and energize you to act on your own creative endeavors. Together, let's have a blast and Thrive Talk. Thrive Talk. Thrive Talk.
Got you, boo. 01. Here we go. And drum roll, please. It is the final episode of season 1. We're fancy. We're celebrating. It's a good time. Yes, if you're not seeing this, it's because you're not on the YouTube video. If you haven't seen the YouTube videos yet, they're about what you would expect. But you should definitely go check it out, if anything, to see our headwear.
Our productions are not, it's not all about the production. It's about the content.
Well, yes. And that's because I am your producer /
master of ceremonies. Sorry.
I mean, good thing I edited that and made it sound seamless. That's true. So we are continuing our conversation. By the way, you're going to see a lot of this in the video today. We're continuing our conversation from last time about money.
Yes.
And I think you teased me last time and you said something about referrals.
And definitely.
I need to know all about this. So fill me in, sister.
To recap a little bit of last episode, if you hadn't listened to it yet.
Thrive Talk.
Right?
Yeah.
I explained kind of the psychology behind money and why people charge what they charge, because it's just not for that moment in time or the production and stuff they have to do for the services, but it's their education, it's their quality of life. And then, the big takeaway was that money really is just energy exchange in a form of appreciation for providing services, craft, talents, products, all that good stuff. Right. So, but to there's so many. We also talked about how there's so many different layers to money. Mm-hmm. We could have a whole season on money.
We really could. / should think about that.
I know.
Just saying.
It's in consideration box. So, the referral concept behind referral, which I think you're referring to, when someone refers you. Mm-hmm.
All my business, I have seen everything I've ever gotten.
Right, exactly. And same with me. And, I have seen in the photography industry it done where there are people that pay referral fees and offer referral fees and people that don't.
What do you mean by referral fees? Let's start there.
Sam, you send a client my way, mm-hmm. and you're my client. I take 10% off your next assignment.
Oh, okay.
Or I give you
a bonus.
I give you cash.
Right.
For it. That's a referral fee.
Okay.
That not everybody calls them that, but I'm one of the photographers that I don't really do referrals. I don't do that. I don't network and collect money that way, because the other thing we were talking about in the last that we teased down about the last the last episode was that creating a relationship with your clients and creating such a value that they want to send you more business because they appreciate what they do for you, and so you're like, no, you got to use this person because they're so great, you're gonna love them. Mm-hmm. That's a gift in itself to you. That's almost like a tip in sorts from your client. And
as we learned last time, to ensure proper service.
Yes. And so we, the idea behind a referral system, I think negates and is kind of like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to put down anybody, especially if you use referral systems, because there are definite ways to be used effectively, and it works for some people, and people can make anything work.
Sure.
Yeah. But for me to only be getting a job because of the money that I'm referral fee that I'm getting back, mm-hmm. it makes me a little nervous, because who is that person? Is that person only coming to me because somebody got paid to bring them to me?
Right.
Or do they are coming to me because they love my services and who I am and what I can give to them, the whole package kind of thing.
Right.
And
they're starting from a lack, not from an abundance, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
That's a beautiful way to put it. High five.
I've been around you for a minute. I've picked up some things, y'all.
And you're bringing them to the fire.
Bringing them to the fire.
So when, so, you know, like, I get it. Like, there are times when, like, at the end of the year, I give bonuses to the people that work for me, for sure.
Yeah,
like, as a gratitude.
Sweet.
I get to choose how much it is. It's not because of anything they did. It's all about my appreciation for who they are and the relationship that we have.
Right.
Not because X, Y, and Z happened.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, when that whole referral fee or discounting, like discounting somebody's invoice because they referred you to somebody sounds really great, but what if you want to stop giving that discount? It gets kind of weird on the next invoice. Like, well, you gave me that last time. Well, you got it because of this. And if you send me more people, I will do. It's just an odd conversation for me.
Right.
You know, now one thing I do is that when two people come to a session back to back, and I'm pretty much doing one session or two portraits within maybe a little bit more time than just the one session, I'll give each of them a little discount for coming at back-to-back session.
Right, for making it easier on you.
Making it easier on me.
Right.
So like I said, there's always ways to maneuver around that. But, you know, especially between vendors in the wedding photography industry. So if you kind of have an industry that, you know, has a collection of vendors that multiple people use, and, you know, if you use this coordinator, this florist, this photographer, and this, everybody will give you 10% off. Well, what if that florist doesn't jive with my client like I jive with my client?
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know, like something like that, especially when it's a service industry. It's so interesting to me how important relationships are and connecting with people. I ask when I'm interviewing potential clients for especially weddings.
I love that, interviewing potential clients. Yes.
Right. Like I ask them certain questions because I don't want to try to provide with something that I'm not really excited about providing.
Right.
That's not where my value is.
Yeah.
So and I actually said to a bride today that I'm pretty sure she's just solidifying her dates with her other vendors, like her locations to make sure that that's her actual wedding date. But I'm pretty sure she's going to use me. But, you know, I asked her how she came to me, and it was, I'd seen my friends' photos on their social media accounts that you took. And, you know, we've heard really good things about you, and it made me feel very comfortable because in my eyes, birds of a feather flock together. So and I love my clients. So if I enjoy photographing another person's wedding and they refer me, pretty sure I'm going to enjoy that person too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so, you know, so in referrals, when it comes to, you know, altering your price or giving or receiving monetary value for referrals, that's not as important to me as understanding who it is and where they're coming from, and, you know, and to make sure that I'm of value and in a relationship with them as much as a quality of service that I can provide.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the things that you do to give those, you know, bonuses, as you say, to
the people that work for me? I do give bonuses at the end of each year for Christmas. But like vendors, especially ones that I really connect with, I'll take them out to dinner, and then we get to sit down for an hour and have a quality conversation and get to know each other and understand what each other needs and see if I can help them with their businesses and maybe they can help me with mine. Not necessarily referring people, but in other things like pricing or how to market
Right.
you know, I actually created when I first moved to Baton Rouge a bridal event that was as much a networking event with other local vendors as it was bringing brides to the table. And what we did was we all invited our own clients that we'd already booked in hopes that there was a vendor there in our circle of really great people to work with.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one or two vendors of each kind of category were there. Super intimate. We really got to know each other. It was very easy. It was like on a Thursday night, like super easy. It wasn't like a big trade show. So,
Yeah.
you know, creating those kind of situations where you can build a relationship and build confidence within your network is more, I think, more valuable when it comes to receiving a referral. And your clients, just holding on to a relationship with your clients and, you know, providing a good quality service, both with your craft or talent and with your personality, however that is, showing up authentically so that you're attracting people that you like to work with, is going to attract more people organically.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I love it. Well, so since this is our final episode of this season 1, I think maybe now we should kind of go over a few of the highlights from this season. What are the big takeaways? What are the things that you really want people to start incorporating into their practice?
well, I mean, so a lot of things, like one of the reasons why we left pricing and money for the last 2 episodes is because everything that we talked about leading up to these last 2 episodes was there to build confidence, to establish boundaries, to step back and connect with your core values, bring you into a space that when you spill out that number, which we need to talk about that too, when you say that number, whatever that price, the monetary value that you have put on your craft or services or products, comes and rolls off easily.
Right.
And that's a big thing. Is like, and we were talking about it last episode.
Yeah.
You were saying how like you kind of choke up and then you over explain why. You know, there's a difference between over explaining and educating people on your services.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
And educating, it comes from a space of confidence and a space of this is what I need to charge because I have value in myself and I like and love what I do.
Yeah.
So that's more passionate. Over explaining comes from a place that I'm not quite sure if what I'm charging I'm valuable enough to do.
Okay.
So we need to get the person that's not quite sure to this space. It doesn't matter what that price is.
Yeah.
It's all about a mindset, which is what our lean in exercises are all about, is cultivating, and what this first season was all about, cultivating a confidence and a space where you can thrive because this is your passion. This is your livelihood. This is who you are and want to be as a career professional.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That's a greater good thing. Like, I'm very happy that you're showing up and doing this because you're making the world a better place by doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you asked, you're like, how do we do that? How do we say with confidence? And all it is practice.
Yeah. Like sitting in front of the mirror kind of thing, or like
saying
just
it.
walking up to people and be like, I charge this amount of money.
Right. Or like when your friends are around, you're in your group circle and you can interject that money just casually.
Yeah.
And let them flow off.
You notice how I wouldn't even say what my rate was right now? Like,
as you shouldn't.
Right.
Because it's going up, right?
Yeah, right. And, I mean, this is going to last for 1,000,000 years because people are going to be listening to this in
I hope so.
2050. Yeah,
right?
Clearly.
I feel like especially pricing, everybody's going to have to come back to this. I mean, even in my 20 years as a professional career photographer, I still get hung up and caught up in my value and questioning my value. It's something that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
We're human nature.
Right.
We might just be having a bad day.
Right.
We might, and like there's a lot of things on a psychological level that that can affect that.
Absolutely.
In the same way that it can bring it down, it can also elevate it, which is why we need to work on our mindset. That's why you need to evolve as a person and grow in confidence and understand that your negative talk and speak is affecting you and that you need to change it.
Well, we also talked last time, teased a little bit, so we should definitely hit on, when do you go up on your prices?
Oh, yeah. You know, that for me, it's always been when I started getting too much work.
Oh, okay.
That's a beautiful indicator.
Yeah.
You start getting really busy.
Right.
Another thing is inflation. I had to go up on my prices this year.
Which we are currently experiencing.
Experiencing in 2022.
Right.
Is when this is recorded.
Right.
Because it's going to last 50 years.
50 years. Yeah.
So, I mean, those are two things that come to mind right away. But there's other factors. Maybe you move into and have gained more overhead. Maybe you haven't raised your prices in a while and it's time.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be inspired. You'll know when that inspiration hits. And that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And I suggest stepping in and talking to a mentor. That's a good thing to hire a business coach for.
Yeah.
I have a lot of resources that I can send your way that are both free and paid for. So, I mean, like if you're having a hard time with it, you've got to seek support, like anything you would do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like like I was coaching another photographer and they don't really know how to use one of the programs that almost every photographer needs to use.
Yeah.
So you need to go and seek support to learn how to do it.
Right.
YouTube. I mean, there's probably YouTube free seminars and workshops that you could do about raising your prices. But you know, like it's a combination of knowing and trusting your instinct, creating the mindset of your self-value. Because you are your own best friend your entire life, the only person that is the most consistent with you your whole life. So building that up and owning into the value that you can provide and trying not to compare yourself to other people. You know, and another time I've raised my prices is when my competitors started to raise their prices.
Oh,
so,
right.
I mean, that's another indication. So
Yeah.
there's several. And it just really depends on the industry. It depends on you as a person. It depends on how much overhead you have, you know. Now, one thing I do want to say, I recently moved from a office back into a home office as a transition, but I'm not decreasing my prices because my overhead went down.
Right.
Never go down.
Never go
down.
down.
And the same with the referral. It's kind of like the same thing with the referral fee. If you discount an invoice because they referred somebody, that's actually psychologically going down in your price. Now, if you're having a sale that's temporary 3 days because of a celebration or a certain time period, whatever, those happen all the time, but you're going right back to another price, there's terms and conditions.
Yeah. Well, now you have a lot of regular clients that you'll see, you know, multiple times throughout their lifespan. So, and sometimes it will be big gaps in time between you see them. So I'm sure you've had price jumps, you know, between sessions with clients. So how do you handle telling those clients, do they expect, are people mostly
they're
demanding
for the most part, you know, I think I heard one time, I don't adhere to this, but like, it's okay to, on a service base, that it's okay. And I don't know if I'm quite right on this, but to raise your prices a certain percent every year. So maybe it's like 10% every year,
right?
You know, but that's a big jump in my price. So I don't really adhere to it, but it's something that I heard and I kind of agreed with people. So that what it told me, and that was it was one of my clients who told me that that's what it is. That's what happens. I think it was in ad sales too. Like that was something that kind of yearly kind of jumps up in price. But I just basically I'm preemptive. So I sent an email out this last time I raised my prices and said, effective now, everything is going up $50 for the portraits.
Yeah.
And, this is happening and this is happening.
So that's why having a really good email.
Yeah, we didn't even get into any of that.
I know, I'm like, I have so many ideas for season 2 now.
Put them in the content box.
Yeah, we're going to have to put it in the content box. And we really want to hear from all of you on your suggestions for what season 2 should be about now that you've listened to season 1.
Absolutely.
What do you want to know next? What do you want us to touch on more? We're quick little snacks almost on a whole bunch of different topics. And we can definitely dig in and have a meal on something if we want.
Yeah, I would be happy, but you're right. Like I'm one of those people that that have to be invited into a conversation.
Yeah.
In order for me to fully show up. And it's difficult when you're online and you have all these people just randomly seeing you, don't know what they want. But if I know what somebody wants to talk about, I can focus in. I am a big picture person that loves to fan a flame. I love
yes, she does.
Like, come on, let's figure out how we can all be successful.
She is the fire starter.
So, man, yeah. So, yeah, definitely let us know what it is that you want to hear about, because the minute I get an invitation to talk about something, we're all in. And if I don't know too much about it,
yeah,
I'll read some stuff.
Definitely.
I'll formulate my own opinion, and I can cultivate my own ideas and thoughts and strategize like nobody's business.
Now, one thing I want to ask, because I am going to cut it out from earlier in the episode, and so I am going to redo this question right now.
Okay.
So now that we've finished off this season, this is the end of season 1. I want to ask you, what are some of the key takeaways that you want people to bring home with them
from the
this
whole
series?
season?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want people to understand that they are responsible for their lean in. They're responsible for building themselves up. A lot of what we talked about throughout the season was to help people build confidence in understanding that they're very, very, very valuable to this world. And the fact that you're going after something that you're passionate about, pursuing a craft or creative service or an art form, that is making the world a better place. And I want people to understand that what you do and what you're doing and who you are is very valuable. And the nuggets and the information and the conversations that we were having in this podcast was all there for you to help you build you up.
Yes.
So we talked about boundaries. We talked about core values. We talked about like the fact that we were passionate about something is actually a reason to charge more.
Yeah.
Because it brings so much value to the table. And then these last 2 episodes talking about pricing and how the energy, the energy that is actually exchanged between a monetary value and, the energy that is exchanged between your craft and getting money for your service or craft, or, it's really just energy, and it's an appreciation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited to wrap up this season. Right.
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm excited to wrap up the season because I'm really excited to start thinking about what we're going to do next. And like we said before, do send us any of your suggestions, comments, questions, all of these things. And we want to hear from you.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for season 1 of
Thrive Talk. Gotta live my life.
All right, y'all. We'll see ya in season 2. Later.
Peace.
The music you hear was created by Cindy Wonderful. To access free resources, log on to Jenn Oken's website at JENNOCKEN.com. If you found value from this episode, tell a friend. And if you have a moment, leave us a review. Tell us what you think.